So I'm continuing my work for this Dnepr engine. I did not finish the engine because as you have seen in the previous videos, I was busy to make the sidecar for the M72. So the sidecar is ready. Now I'm continuing this work on the engine. As you can see, one cylinder it is already assembled, and now I have to assemble the second cylinder, but I just wanted to show the parts. The cylinder you have seen before in the previous video with the engine, the Almo piston, also the Gasket rings, new rubber boots. I am using these black rubber boots only because I have the pipes of the head cylinder painted in black, but in the other videos I have shown some red rubber boots, and it seems to be a better quality, and I'm not using those red rubber boots because I want to match the colors. Black rubber boots, black pipes. So now I'll continue the work. A little but important detail here with this gasket. This gasket is for the oil return pipe from the head cylinder. So on the other part of the engine, this gasket was taller than the surface of the engine, and when you put the cylinder, it is pressing the gasket. But on this side it was not pressing the gasket, and I will show you. We can see that we are beneath the surface of the engine. That means this gasket, it will not seal and we will have oil losses. But in order to prevent this, I have made some paper gasket in order to make the rubber gasket taller. So now the rubber gasket, it is taller. You can see it is taller than the surface of the engine. So you have to be careful with these details on these Russian engines, because of the machining in the factory, not all the surfaces and distances are made correctly. Like I said, in the other part of the engine I did not have this problem here. Also, before the final assembly, you have to check if the oil return pipe, which it goes here through this gasket, it is passing through, because on the new gaskets sometimes the hole is too small, and some pipes are too large, and they will stop here in the rubber, and you will not be able to push the head cylinder enough. So in order to prevent that, you have to make a test. So you put the cylinder without piston, and now we are looking inside. On the stud, and we see we have enough thread outside in order to put the shim and also the nut. That means we have a good fitting. So always before final assembly make this test. In the past it happens to me once not to make the test, and I was ready with the pistons, with the bearings, with all the gasket, and I was not able to push the head cylinders in the right position in order to be able to put the nuts. Also, if you force that small rubber gasket, it may happen to the rubber to displace and enter in the hole of the pipe, and this way you will have no drain for the oil which is coming to the head cylinder. I have the rings in position. I am putting the gaps at 180 degrees, and for the third ring I am putting in line with the piston pin. This is the way I do it, and it was okay. So now I am using this tool in order to compress the rings. The arrow must be like this, towards the front of the engine. And now I have to be careful when I'm pushing the piston. And we have the arrow in the correct position. The cylinder, it comes like this, and I have the arrow oriented towards the front of the engine. is a compound called Kuril from Elring. I use it and it is very good. When you put the snap ring for the piston pin, you have to be sure that it is put exactly in the channel, because if it is not exactly in the channel, it will fall off and it will destroy your cylinder and piston. Okay, we have the arrow oriented and toward the front, and now I have to put the head cylinder. I am putting a thin layer of silicone here for the rubber boots, but only because this silicone, it will keep for a long time. If you are not putting this silicone on the first 2-3 years, you will have a good sealing, and after the rubber start to getting older and to oxidize, it will lose the sealing properties. This one doesn't want to stay here. Yes, it will be a problem. I will have to put the rubber boot when I will push the head cylinder. So for the sealing of the head cylinder I am using 2 copper rings, because this way I'm sure I will have a good sealing. Okay. I have the rubber boot in position. It was quite easy. Sometimes it's difficult.